Oh, this is like my favorite interview because it's Rick Floyd and we're having a great season. I mean, I don't know when this gets posted, whether it's after we win the national championship or before. We better win it, by the way.
Yes,
Anyway,
absolutely.
it's our season to lose, right?
Yep, one game at a time.
And you know,
Right,
my
good
husband and
dog.
I don't know if we're as radical of Georgia fans as you are, because I know what's how radical you are. But we're pretty close to the Rick Floyd mantra of Georgia Bulldogs, considering I've had 3 Bulldogs in my life, right?
Yep.
So anyway, I can't do it again. I love the last one too much, Rick. He was my 60-pound lap dog who could not live or breathe without me, and he would snore just petting me. He had to have me. But anyway, it's great to see you again.
That's good to see you too, Casey.
Think about, man, a year ago where we were when we did the interview. It's insane. So let's get caught up. How are you and your leaders right now? Right, the market has shifted. How are you navigating the current market?
Well, Casey, obviously, to your point, 2020 was a great year. 2021 has been it's been a great year. Obviously, we have headed and we're in the midst of market slowdown, pricing compressions, just all the things that come with that. So it's like we've talked about before, and it's pretty it's pretty basic. It's just having a plan, executing on that plan. And, it's like all of us, mortgage bankers, we will have to learn to really lead, right? That's, it's not saying that, leading is never easy, but let's face it, let's call it what it is. When volume is plentiful and margins are great and, companies are making money, the salespeople, operation staffs are making great money, it still have to be a leader, but it's not that difficult. Now when you head into times like this, it's where you really have to lead all of your associates through this, right? So you got to be forward thinking. You got to be forward thinking of, not, see how to say this, but we firmly believe in the Jack Welch theory, right? You need to constantly be turning your bottom 10%. It's just like the Georgia Bulldogs that you referenced earlier, right? There's if there's no room on there for complacency, there's no room on your team for attitude issues or not giving it 110%. So, we on a regular basis, we make sure that we are, really supporting our A and B players, I'll call it. And then there's no room for C players on the Homebridge team. Obviously, we're doing a lot of analysis based upon Fannie and MBA's projections for 2022. We're doing a lot of modeling just to see where we need to be from a margin standpoint, from an expense standpoint. And then you really rallying the troops. It's still a great business. It always is a great business, no matter whether the rates are 2 or 9 or whatever, and it's a great business to be in. You just got to adjust and, and make sure your team's all rowing in the same direction and make sure they clearly understand the corporate vision for the organizations.
So Rick, I've known you now for 20 plus years. If you can imagine, we're about to hit our 20-year anniversary at XINNIX.
And you a long time since that bowl of oatmeal at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Georgia.
Right. You do remember that, right? That you were like
Absolutely.
one of the original executives that I went and said, I just need to get an indication of interest. If I did X, would you actually engage? And you said, absolutely. And here we are 20 years later, a little older. I got a little gray going on now. So, but with that, Rick, so let me ask you, it's been a year. Have you shifted anything culturally? Because right now, I'm going to tell you, I've never been, me personally at XINNIX, been more intentional about, I knew my culture was great, or I always felt it was based on the awards we were getting, but I'm trying to be more intentional about shaping it. Is there anything you've done over the past year regarding your culture?
Yeah, Casey, as we've talked a lot about, and there's actually a lot of things. So I will just, I will roll through it, and anything that you want me to expand on, feel free to interrupt. But we made a huge concerted effort, about a year ago to really, engage in leadership development of our leaders, as well as a virtual type culture for our 2,500 associates. We still today are predominantly work from home, but I'll just kind of run through on the leadership development side. We invested greatly into the Franklin Covey leadership development programs.
Okay.
We also launched the lunch and learns around the topics of communication, feedback, accountability, conflict management. We did a big study throughout all of our leaders of the 5 dysfunctions of a team, so that we could build trust amongst the team members. And we've done a lot of coaching and mentoring and sponsoring of our leaders on the recruiting and retention side. And just a lot about how to inspire others, which ultimately improves morale. Lastly, on the leadership side, we partnered with DeVry Institute, to help us do additional lunch and learns for all associates, not just the leaders. The topics were managing through change, time management, building a career framework, empowering collaboration. Did a lot on project management skills and effective communication, and also a lot on virtual interaction, how to create a positive interaction virtually, without everybody being in the office. And we also instituted engagement surveys twice a year, where it's a confidential survey to all the associates, and a lot of companies do that, but we made a concentrated effort to make sure that we acted on the feedback that we did. One of the big, probably one of the more powerful things we did this year is we created a program called Cheers for Peers. Basically, Cheers for Peers is a recognition platform to where anybody in the company can recognize anybody. So if there's somebody in accounting that really helped one of our leaders, they can do a Cheers for Peers. It's posted throughout the entire company, recognizing he or she for their support, or if it's an originator wanting to do an underwriter or a closer. So that Cheers for Peers recognition program has done a lot to create, feel good throughout the entire company. And then lastly, on just a couple of fronts here, we do a lot of virtual contests. Like we did a Halloween contest, right? Best dress, scariest dress, best home decorations. And, we gave away some great prizes. I think we had maybe almost 600 participants out of the 2,500 associates. And we've got a huge plan for the holiday season on building activities, whether it's name that tune or just a lot of different things during the holiday season virtually to get people engaged. But I'll pause there because I don't want to, give.
Wow. So tell me about, the Cheers for Peers. So we do something similar, but not, you're an incredibly large organization. So what are the conditions on Cheers for Peers, and who does it go to, and how do they post? Can you give me a little detail?
But it's all built in online, right? And they so it's just an app. They can do it on their phone, they can do it from their desktop. They just can write up a quick, I don't remember the maximum number of words, but just recognizing he or she, as to why they're cheering their peer, throughout the organization. And then that's auto sent to, everybody in his or her, management chain, as well as posted on the Cheers for Peers internal Homebridge Facebook page.
So you get recognition by the executive team because the executive team sees it as well, right?
Absolutely. Yes. It can be a closer doing a closer, and then the executive team sees it, and then there's no rhyme or reason. All executives can respond, one or two, depends on who wants to pick up the torch at that point in time. So it's a real feel good, and they also earn what we call Homebridge bucks, right? So if you get recognized, I don't know if it's $50, $75, $100, to the Homebridge company store. It's got stuff on there outside of just branded Homebridge type stuff.
Wow, Rick, y'all have done a ton over the past year.
Yeah, we did it. It was an intentional, laser focused campaign. Because look, virtual work, if any of the associates in Homebridge will see this at some point in time, but it's no secret. I'm old school. I still prefer people to be in the office, ringing the bells, excitement. But that ship has sailed. I don't personally believe that as an industry we'll ever go back to that. Which one all of us mortgage companies are trying to get rid of as much space as possible. But you got to figure out how to adapt in a virtual world where people feel connected and they don't feel, alone. And from that, we did a huge push and still are into mental health. And just, because let's face it, you can read statistics, people working from home, not a lot of interaction with other people. Obviously the kids are back in school, so that stress level is off of there. But it's still it's a big focus of ours from a mental health perspective of just society as it is, whether it's work from home, social injustice, or whatever the case may be. We're doing a lot to support from a mental health campaigns as well.
Well, let me just applaud you, Rick, because right now our industry is as competitive as ever. We're used to it. You and I have been doing this a long time. But the differentiator is how you make people feel, right? And because they're all doing the same job at multiple companies, maybe slightly different nuances.
People, let's face it, hasn't changed in 100 years. People work for people. And I don't care who you are, what kind of marketing you got, pricing programs. At the end of the day, you got to support them. But in the day, people work for people.
People work for people. Well, I just want to applaud you, Rick. I mean, we'll end with another question in just a moment, but let me just give you accolades, because I think that those executive leaders that are listening in, if you're not being highly intentional in creating this culture of connection and fun and relationships and empowerment and rewards, you may be missing an opportunity of a lifetime. And I do believe you're 100% correct, Rick. We're in the virtual world. It's not going to go away. It gives us a lot more latitude from, flexibilities to balance to I get to really be with my children more. I'm at the office today and I'm loving it. And it's a good change of pace, but I love being at home and working from home just as much. All right, let's end with this. Based on everything that's happened over the year and everything that you're doing and have been doing, what is your greatest priority today?
There's probably two. And one is because, as we are working towards a merger with bigger technologies. So, we will, we've had it as a goal for a long time. We just never were able to get there on our own. And, that becomes a fintech type company that happens to do mortgages and fulfill the American dream. So obviously moving towards that merger, hopefully over the next 2, 3, 4 months and so forth, this is a top priority, just based upon everything they bring to the table for Homebridge. But aside from that, biggest priority is just to make sure that we are making all the right strategic business decisions as an organization for the betterment of all 2,500 of our associates. And you have to, when you make decisions on any front, we try to keep that in mind as we make these decisions going forward as to how to navigate through the new space, right? Statistics show that refis are going to be off 60%, purchase is going to be up 10. We were never a heavy refi shop, but we did our fair share, right? So, so just trying to make sure we can navigate through that, bringing all the tools to the forefront of how to help our salespeople, do more business. You and I have talked a lot about recently the diversity and inclusion, goals that we have as an organization. And obviously we're partnering with XINNIX on that as well. And so we're extremely excited about that in 2022.
Well, Rick, thank you for your time and for being at the beginning with XINNIX as we celebrate our 20-year anniversary here in the next almost 45 days. We'll be celebrating, and I just want to say thank you for the insight back then, for your friendship, for your business. You are an amazing leader, and I just can't wait to hear out in the market about the culture that you've been creating from some of your guys. I haven't talked to them in a while, but
yeah,
there is no
absolutely.
doubt.
Well, we're very excited, and this is only going to cost Casey a bowl of oatmeal. But if anybody within the sound of my voice is not using XINNIX and using Casey and her entire team to help you inside of your organization, whether it's home growing, operational staff or new salespeople or existing salespeople. XINNIX has been a phenomenal partner of Homebridge and been one of the pillars, the keys to our success. So if you're not using, Casey and her team at XINNIX, I challenge you to do so. And Casey, it's always great to see you. And let's hook up at one of these football games coming up soon.
Don't worry, my now 15-year-old daughter is expecting to be tailgating with you when she goes to the game. So God bless you. Thank you.
Absolutely. We
let's
welcome
end it properly.
everyone.
I would make you bark, but let's
Take
say
care.
go dog. Go dogs.
Thanks. Go dogs. See you, Casey.
Go dogs. There you go, man. Take care.